I want to share with you how I start my seeds. Basically, I use a wet paper towel method, but before I put them on the paper towel, I soak them in a diluted chamomile tea solution. This helps kill bacteria and other things that might be bad for the seeds. So anyway, start my water boiling. I've got some chamomile tea, and I'm just starting. It's really late in the year for starting seeds, but the Peruvian Serrano was part of a contest on the hot pepper. It's the grow down, throw down. So I've got 4 seeds in there, and also going to start these Thai Dragon. I've got 2. So that's done. So I'll get that going. I'm not a tea snob, so I don't really know the proper way to make it, but basically I just pour some boiling water in a cup with a tea bag. So I'll let that steep for a couple minutes, and I've pre-measured 3, well really it's up to here on the cup of water. Then I'll pour that up, this amount of tea in with it, and that's what I'll pour into the cup with the seed. And people vary on how long they do it, but I usually let mine soak overnight, or at least 12 hours or so. But anyway, that's I'll let that steep. I'll come back. Okay, that's done. So pour that in there. It's not too hot. It's actually kind of lukewarm. And also, I just mentioned I use distilled water if I have it. If not, I'll use bottled water, just in case there's any chemicals in tap water that might harm the seeds. So yes, I'll just go ahead and really don't need that much water, but I'm only doing 2 and I have plenty. So yeah, that's that. So I'll let those soak overnight, and then I'll show you how I transfer them to the paper towels. So it's been about 24 hours since I started soaking these seeds, and to recap, it was a quarter strength chamomile tea solution. These are the things that I use: a strainer, bowl, paper towels. I'll go ahead and write the name on the Ziploc bags, and pre-open them. And the paper towels, I'll go ahead and I use those kind of, they like tear off a small piece. I just fold it in half. You can use whatever though. And what I'll do is soak the paper towel just a little bit. And just kind of squeeze it so it's, you don't want it to be like dripping wet, but it needs to be wet enough. I can use this a little bit more. So then I'll lay this out. And I'll just take the cup, just pour it in here. And then I'll take the distilled water and just kind of rinse it off a little bit. sure they're all on there. And just do the best I can to, I think I'll see where my missing one is. That's one of the three. And just try to get the air out, seal it. So that one's ready. Okay, so I got both of these done. And what I do then is wrap them in a set of paper towels, like so. This is just to kind of block out light. If you don't, you could get some algae in it, in the bags. So, carefully put them in there. And, there we go. So then I'll just put these in a warm spot, and after the initial few days, I'll start checking it every day. Okay, so I'll use a heat mat, and my experience has been if you put them directly on the heat mat, it'll get too hot, and getting too hot's worse than not being hot enough. If it's not hot enough, it may just take a little longer. So, so I put a little offset thing where I've got, and just kind of set that on top. And this doesn't have to be snug, but just something to kind of trap the heat. That way it doesn't get too hot, but it stays pretty warm. I'm going to take a look at these seeds, see if they're germinated. They started on the 15th and today is the 22nd, so it's been about a week. You can see, if I can get the focus. Yeah, you can see the tail there. And you can really see it there. I apologize for the lack of focus on that. So this is the Thai dragon, and the other type was Peruvian Serrano, and so far none of these have yet, but different seeds, different pepper types take different lengths to germinate. So one of this is an annuum. Annuums typically germinate a lot faster than a Chinense, which is what this is. But I'll post an update when those start, and also I'll do a quick demonstration of how I start my seeds too. I got that set up. You can see the these tap roots a little better. Let me get a toothpick. So that little sprout-looking thing sticking out is the tap root. And this one's a little bigger. And a lot of times, and these probably have started, they'll actually grow into the paper towel, so you have to be careful when you pull these out. Sometimes I'll kind of tear the paper towel. I use a toothpick to move these because they're very delicate. But if you see the taproot, then you know it's germinated. And if you left this long enough, if it didn't get moldy or something else happened to it, it would actually sprout leaves. Anyway, I'm going to show how I transplant these. I like these rapid rooter plugs. You can see the has like a little hole in the center, and the I guess it's maybe between 1/4 and 1/2 inch deep. So you put the seed in there with the taproot down, and then I'll break a little a little piece off and then kind of wedge it down on top. And I've soaked this in a really diluted solution of Master Blend, like 100 ppm, and then I kind of rinse that off with some bottled water. So it's wet, and then I'll put the seed, one seed in each. I usually just set them in a little net pot, and then put them in a small container, and then put that in a Ziploc bag. It's important to keep the humidity up until they sprout. One, that'll just keep them from drying out and dying, but also it helps prevent things like helmet head, where the seed casing doesn't come off. But this is just how I do it. Really, the best solution for starting seeds or transplanting them or whatever is what works best for you. You could use seed starting mix to put these in, or pH adjusted rock wool. But I just happen to like these. It's the first time using them, and it just made it a lot easier for me this year. Carefully lift this guy off of here. Yeah, usually they'll just kind of hang on there. I don't like picking them up with my fingers. It's too easy to mess them up. So let's get it focused. Maybe not. Okay, here we go. Gently kind of guide that down. Taproot facing down. And this is where I was talking about. I'll break a tiny little piece of this off. Just gonna wedge it in there. That's really all I do. And I'll go ahead and do the other one. This one's got a slightly larger taproot. And it won't have any problem pushing this out. I've actually had these grow through the wall sideways through the spongy material and then pop up on the end. They're stronger than you'd think. So those are ready. Yeah, so I'll just drop them in something like this. I'll put a piece of tape on the side with the name of it, but for now I think I'm just going to stick these in a bag and then write the name on the bag, and I'll label those later. And the moisture in the rapid rooter plugs from soaking them will create enough humidity with a sealed bag, so they should be fine. If it looks like they're drying out, I'll take them out and add a little bit. But so I'll put this back in a warm spot. Once they sprout, then you need to pull them out and get them under a light. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.